Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and welcome back to Batman Be Vlogged, the weekly vlog series where I review an episode of Batman Beyond after watching it for the very first time. Today we are looking at episode 36, Sentries of the Last Cosmos. Written by John Shirley and Rich Fogel and directed by Dan Reba. As always, because I do these unscripted, there is a blanket spoiler warning in place in the off chance I do decide to talk about spoilers. So if you have not seen the episode in question and do not want to be spoiled, this is your one chance to jump ship, see the episode, and come back. And I don't know how I feel about this episode. It's one of those, looking at it through a modern lens, it's not great. And maybe seeing it earlier would have been better, but let's go into the story and kind of the issue the thing I'm having issues with. So, Sentries of the, what is it even called again? So in this episode, Sentries of the Last Cosmos is an arcade game. That's how we open. It's this VR arcade game, and that Terry and Max are playing with one of their one-off friends. Did I write it down? Corey. And here, I'm going to stop right now and kind of get into spoilers. The premise here is the plot of The Last Starfighter. It's a fun, very underrated little 80s sci-fi movie, if you've never seen it, about, this kid who plays an arcade game and then learns the arcade game is actually a simulation for a real-life intergalactic war going on, and the arcade game was a recruitment tool. So that's what we're doing here. Corey is recruited by the creator of Sentries of the Last Cosmos, named Simon Harper, along with a couple other high-ranking players of the game. And Harper convinces them that they are actually sentries, and let's get into the big problem with this episode. This episode is, at least to me, it feels like very mocking and very derogatory of nerd culture. And that's the thing, it's like, despite the stereotypes and how it's often portrayed in fiction and stuff, nerd culture has kind of become popular over the last several years. It's fun, it's being a nerd, being a geek is something to be proud of in this day and age. And it's just one of those things, like, one of the reasons a lot of people hate the Big Bang Theory, one of them, there's a lot, is the way it doesn't accurately represent nerd culture, nearly to the point of mocking it. And that's what I feel like Sentries of the Last Cosmos is doing, especially with Corey and some of the other kids that Harper is recruiting to be his sentries. Because, they live in their own world. Despite Terry and Max expressing concern for Corey, he gladly lives in this world. And, when Terry tries to be friendly, Corey responds very coldly, "You just see this as a joke." And it gets worse when we kind of learn the plot that's going on. Harper convinces the sentries that the villain that from the games is alive and disguised as this man named Eldon Michaels, voiced by Patton Oswalt. Patton Oswalt is a highlight here, and he does not get enough to do. And the set, and over the course of the climax, it's revealed that Eldon Michaels was the one who came up with Sentries of the Last Cosmos, but Harper was the one who published it and then took credit. So Michaels is trying to sue Harper, and Harper has recruited the sentries to kill him, essentially, and stop this in his tracks. And that's kind of another part where this episode rubs me the wrong way. For one thing, the kids, very, very well done, don't realize that they were supposed to kill Michaels for Harper. So that's a good thing, but I feel like if the kids were brainwashed by Harper or something, that would help this episode a little bit. But as it is, it just really doesn't. Sorry this one is so short, by the way. I don't have a lot to say about it except for my big issues. Patton Oswalt is fun, but it's Patton Oswalt. You're in for a good time anytime he shows up in anything. But yeah, Sentries of the Last Cosmos just isn't great, mainly because of how it mocks nerd culture. But those are just my thoughts. Have you seen Sentries of the Last Cosmos? What are yours? Start a conversation in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Click the bell next to subscribe to get notifications when I upload. In the description box below, you'll find a link to my socials where you can follow me and get updates on the channel. This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and I'll see you guys next time.